Yeah, pretty much. So where are we starting here? Right, pretty much. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Everybody's having a good day today. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello. Everyone's having a good day today. So is everything okay, sir? Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Why can't I hear you, Coolz?
Yes.
So you all can hear me, but I
I'm a
can't hear
ghost,
Coolz.
like.
And I was hearing Coolz just a second, but
Let me. Hello? Hello? Is like work now? Because sometimes Discord does a funny thing. Hello.
hello, testing, testing. Coolz, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I see you talking, but I still can't hear you for some reason.
How you doing today, DCR?
Testing.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna try something real quick. Testing. Hey, can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear you. All right. Yeah, I have no idea. Everything's working. My apologies. But now that we are live, um, let me just get your thing on the screen. Yeah, I don't know why I. It's funny you should mention that. They are all like already good to go. I have them all set up. I think what we're trying to work on now is Gooms has told me that we are that basically that you guys have been asking to get it on Spotify. So I have a DistroKid account. Probably later today, I'm going to work on getting them on Spotify, and as soon as they're up on Spotify, I will release them on YouTube. But yeah, we've got like I don't know, 7, 8, 9 tracks that are up on YouTube right now. They're just unlisted, so we are going to put them up there. But all right, so after that little technical mishap, welcome to the SCP 5K Affray community event. We are here with Coolz, who is going to showcase his musical composing talent, and we are going to do a very special exercise where he is going to try and compose tracks for SCPs. So we are going to start off today with composing. So Bananazilla is not in the game. I need to reiterate that. Bananazilla is 100% not in the game, but we are going to make a track for Bananazilla. And Coolz, we were talking about this earlier. So obviously these will not be completed tracks. It takes a lot more time to complete a 100% completed piece of music. But what are you going to be making today in these sort of like brief outlines? So what would you say goes into kind of like making a motif, a successful motif?
Just random stuff.
So here's the sort of big question. Also, for the people on YouTube, my apologies. I think you should still be able to hear Coolz or the music. But I'll try and troubleshoot it. I know that people are saying they're not hitting the desktop audio. I included a link to the Discord if you want to hear exactly what's going on, but I will troubleshoot it. So I guess So how are you going to build a motif for the beloved Banana Zilla? Oh, well, I can give you some Godzilla music to inspire you and get the creative juices flowing. If that's kind of like there's two tracks I would recommend. Actually, three. Let's see. Godzilla original theme. One second. So this is the classic, probably one of the most iconic Godzilla tracks. I will send it to you, and I will also share it with the community Discord to for anyone who's kind of curious, maybe what you're building. And here is a newer track that's really, really popular from Godzilla 01. And that is the Divinity track. Yeah, the classic Godzilla motif is the burr, 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 burr. And then if you go into like a minute in, yeah. And then this, I think, track is incredibly underrated. Persecution of the Mad. This is it's a really good track from the highly underrated Shin Godzilla from the creator of Evangelion. And maybe you want something whimsical, like Tim Burton esque, like Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Okay, I think I have it fixed. Let me know on YouTube if you guys can hear the audio now. It was so weird. I originally I couldn't hear you, Coolz. Uh, then I switched it to the whatchamacallit, my Scarlet plugin, and then I was able to hear it. And then that kind of screwed everything else up.
There's some technical issues, like really quickly. Yeah, I mean it's all fine. Do let me know if they have any, if there's any questions I can answer. I'm just quickly setting up here some layers here before I begin.
Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, or it may not be. It might be the evening. We knew that you guys are all across the globe. I, of course, would love to know if you have any questions. Thank you, Fred Fish and Suspicious Toad, for letting us know that you can actually hear Coolz now. My apologies for... it always seems like I am cursed with some sort of extra... Oh, so here we have a question for DCR. Coolz, what is your favorite SCP-5K soundtrack to compromise, and what was the hardest?
Sorry. Can you repeat that?
What was your favorite 5K soundtrack to compromise, and what was the hardest?
Oh, do you mean to compose?
Oh, he wrote compromise, but yeah, I think compose. I think you're right. And
okay.
DR,
I was getting a little confused here. So, the hardest one to compose for sure was Countdown, simply because it's a very, very long piece. It's like 8 minutes long, and you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going that entire time. And you've got to keep building on it, but it also has to be 8 minutes. That was like the first time, and I made something like that long. Before then, I'd made things that are 1 minute, 2 minutes, sometimes 3 minutes, and then it's like, okay, well, here you go. Like, this has to be 8 minutes. The timer is 8 minutes. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And I think it turned out pretty well, admittedly. If I were to go back, I would definitely make the ending a little bit more bombastic, bombastic, because I feel like I've got a lot better strings now.
That must be difficult, though, to compose a track that, has to keep the intensity up for eight entire minutes.
Like it's not easy, because I've got to keep, I don't want to keep the same exact melody the entire time. You really have to look at it like something where you take a break for a little bit. You got to switch out. You got to give the people in the orchestra a break, like a little section, and you switch away to just doing some guitars, like that kind of stuff. I don't know how many of you have heard the whole thing, but there is it keeps going to where 2 minutes it's on this beat, and then 30 seconds it's beat 2, then it goes to beat 3, and then beat 4, and then beat 5, and then just over time it just gets a lot more complicated than less complicated. More complicated, less complicated. More complicated, less complicated. You get the point. That's really how you have to treat it. Because sometimes things that are complicated, you're not going to pick out all the little pieces and parts of it that make it complicated. You can appreciate it as the artist, because you can hear all the stuff because you put it there. But if I showed you all the layers individually, you'd hear them, but all together, no, you wouldn't hear all of them. Okay, so now what type of style do we want to go here? Do we want to go like it's on a rampage here?
So
like we're going on a rampage here, or this is just a regular old theme here?
Okay, so first point of user interactivity. This is what we have you for. So, all right, so I'm going to put up a poll. How would you like the theme to be? So I'll say monster rampage or regular. What options would you like? We can do up to 3 or 4. Coolz?
Oh, sorry. Apologies. I was typing. Sorry. What?
So all right. So I can do a poll for you, and we can have the audience choose. what would you like to be? So like Monster Stompy, like give me 2 or 3 options.
All right, we got Monster Stompy, Monster Monster like emotional moment, more emotional moment, more emotional moment, or screw it, just really really tone setting, just tone setting.
All right, so we've got Monster Stompy, emotional moment, or tone setting. You will determine this. We will give you 2 to 3 minutes to choose. How would you like to be like the Banana Zilla theme to be? All right, so the poll is set up on YouTube. Give me 2 seconds, and I will set it up on Discord as well. Tone for Banana Zilla.
By the way, DCR, to answer kind of answer your question, naming tracks is one of the last things I do because I'm pretty bad with names. So unfortunately, I can't give you a name because a lot of these things, I just haven't named yet. I prefer a name to be something that I can truly attribute to the track in hindsight, not something that I just like I want the track to be I don't want to make the name the track. I want to make the track the name. Does that if that makes sense?
So far on YouTube, we have Emotional is the prevailing winner. It is the de facto one that is like winning out. And then we have Monster Stompy, an emotional moment. Come on, people. I know. Get out to vote. This is a very important year, 2024. You're hearing about voting, whether you're in America or not. Everyone's talking about voting. We try to not bring up politics, and I will not bring in politics too much, other than the fact that voting is very important, and voting is super important for these polls. This is the work that will determine whether and what kind of tone Coolz approaches for creating tracks for the beloved SCP Banana Zilla. What track will he have? What will he pick? You must vote. We only have 3 votes in Discord. There's at least 9 people in here. Come on, get out and vote. Emotional moment is the de facto winning.
Emotional moment. Okay.
Whatchamacallit, give it a few more seconds. Suspicious Toad says, now Coolz is hearable. An emotional moment, the dating sim route, I presume. And Fredfish says, I want to...
Oh, okay.
And Fredfish says, I want to cry seeing the Banana Man encased and raptured by the banana. I want to feel. And on, let's see, is there... there's some people who want Monster Stompy. Monster Stompy is kind of winning out on Discord. Oh,
okay,
so tense.
We've got how many votes have we got here? We've got 4 Monster Stompies on Discord, 1 emotional moment on Discord. What are the results on the poll currently?
On YouTube, we have 71%. So that I'm going to presume that's at least 5 votes and 2 votes for Monster Stompy on YouTube, because we have 7 votes there.
Okay.
So Emotional is winning. Monster Stompy. Emotional is winning on YouTube. Monster Stompy is so far winning. If I had to like put all in total, I think Emotional Moment is winning overall. If you were to go for it, so I guess what is the emotional banana?
I would say, going along the lines of, this is something that's very dangerous. I would say emotional moment is like maybe it just killed somebody, right? It just killed somebody, and it's like, oh well, oh no, like I really like that guy. He was a cool guy. I talked to him like one time. One time, like throughout the story of the movie. And there was definitely plot development for that character and their relationship with the main character in the plot. Trust me.
or maybe the banana Zilla is actually like a tragic figure. So we're supposed to be in awe that it's here, and it's just sort of
Well,
very.
it could be like it's breaking out, containment. Hmm. 'Cause that's like not necessarily monster stompy. That's still an emotional moment. Like it's like getting out of there, right? Because like that kind of combines monster stompy and emotional moment, wouldn't you say?
So, what are the emotions of the banana? There's a lot of great tracks you can draw inspiration. Like I think a great emotional moment is the classic Jurassic Park main theme that everyone loves. The you know.
Unfortunately, what I'm realizing is I've forgotten to reinstall because I've moved my hard drives around. I've forgotten to reinstall the brass context libraries I had, so I don't have as many as I used to. I
Oh
need to
no!
reinstall that. Like I have this one, Forzo. I have this one, but we'll have to make do. We'll have to make do. I'm sorry. I apologize. Definitely should have checked this a little bit more. But that said, right? We've got. Wait a second. Why is this not playing? Hello? Oh, it deleted that. So we want so we are going to go over here to contents here. And overall, we need to set a starting tone. So I've got okay, so I need to find the right type of instrument here.
So, how
Or
much
maybe I
space
can
do all these
go.
sound libraries take from you?
That is a very good question. Do you want okay, how about you guess? Honestly, guess. I'm
Uh,
genuinely curious. Guess.
I'm gonna guess. Well, in theory, it should be like I don't know, like 10 GB. I think that's 5 to 10 GB would be reasonable. I'm gonna assume that it's a lot more space, and it's because everything in modern computing is a nightmare of hard drive space. So I'm gonna say it's like 100 gigs.
My friend. Oh, my naive friend.
Oh
You
no, you're gonna give me a sweet summer child moment.
naive Porsche. I have two 20 terabyte hard drives here.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's oh my God. Like I don't know, aren't sound files like kind of small? They're not like video files. Jesus.
They are okay. Listen. You underestimate the amount. You underestimate the amount. The sheer amount, and they are very much uncompressed, my friend. They are all uncompressed. Compressed files, sure, they can be a lot smaller. These what we're dealing with is like hundreds of thousands of files per library potentially, and all of them just uncompressed.
So it really just
It
takes
gets
up.
out of hand real fast, my friend.
That sounds like a nightmare. Well, we do not build computers that are like equipped for, you know, you go to like buy a computer and it's like, oh, here's the 2 GB hard drive. Have fun. No, we're 2 TB hard drive. No, we need 100 TB. We need 50 TB. We need more space. We're not getting enough space to deal with the complexities of modern life. I can't stand it. So what's the first part? Just sort of like listening to instruments. What is the process of composing?
The way that I go about this is you really you don't tend to jump in and say, okay, here is the melody. It's all really highly experimental at the start. What you want to do is you want to start playing around and you want to decide, does this sound right? Does this sound like, you want to be a lot more experimental with it. It's not super quick like writing. It's not super quick.
It's throwing things on the grid
layer.
and then understanding when you something clicks.
Exactly. You toss things down. There's not necessarily like sometimes there's rhyme or reason. Sometimes I prefer to be a lot more chaotic with it because I'm a free spirit. And I like to be very experimental with my stuff. I like to be very experimental. That does not go nearly as low as I wanted to. Okay, let me see. So this is not
interesting. We have a suggestion from DCR. If we go breaking out a containment route, Batman's old friends, new faces, OSD could be a good inspiration.
old friends, new face. I have also not listened to that. I've
neither.
also not listened to this. To be brutally honest, I don't tend to listen to a lot of music, admittedly.
Really?
Because I prefer to like. I want my own music to be my own little style, my own little thing that I just, I made myself. I don't want to necessarily be like a combination of a bunch of different places. Like I want to evolve my own style.
So you're kind of afraid that you might steal from people, because like, well, it's interesting.
No, that's just like not like that. Like I mean like when you listen to a lot of music, that becomes your style. I want to evolve my own style myself. Because so for example, I'll say No More Room in Hell as an example, right? Because a lot of people have said that my music sounds like No More Room in Hell. And there is actually a reason for that, because I used to play No More Room in Hell a lot. And actually some of my own music is in No More Room in Hell. Some of my music is in No More Room in Hell. But,
nice.
When I first started composing, that was the game I was always playing. That was the game. And that was also the soundtrack I listened to a lot. And I spoke to Thought. He's the composer for No More in Hell. And, he gave me a lot of advice. And, basically, we go from there. And here I am.
So here's an interesting question. I guess this differs from different people for different artists. Typically, like in writing, if you're a writer, they classically say you got to read a lot. You got to read a lot. If you want to be a good writer, you need to read lots of interesting music. You need to read lots of interesting stories. You need to read the literary classics. You need to read new books. Have a wide range if you're going to develop a unique style. But I don't know if that same sentiment compares with composers, that you need to listen to a lot of music. Philosophically, it seems like you believe that to listen as little music as possible. Do you think that is the sort of best way to compose interesting music?
No, that's it. There's no wrong way. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. Whatever works for you as an individual is what it is fine. It's perfect. Whatever works for you as an individual, that is the way to go. It's like acting. Not everybody acts the exact same way, right? Like you can do method acting. You can do like whatever acting you want. None of it's necessarily wrong. They all have upsides and downsides, but none of them are wrong, and none of them are necessarily the perfect thing for everybody. You got to really look at yourself as a person and say, this is what works for me. And that's all you need. What works for me is just throwing a bunch of stuff out there and really, really figuring out. Okay, so I think I like this kind of rhythm here. So what works for me is like being out on my own, just being experimental with it and not really committing too hard to a particular notion when I go into things, because experimentation is where creativity thrives. This raw experimentation, for me at least.
And that's sort of the kind of sweet spot.
Exactly. The moment you start getting afraid to experiment with things, at least from what I've found, is the moment that you start doing the same thing.
And that is the
Sometimes it
creativity.
doesn't matter if it's. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and that is the death of creativity.
Um, at least for me that is. At least for me that is. I mean, like I said, like everybody's different. Creatively, everybody is different. Everybody is really good at a specific thing, and like I said, nothing. There is no such thing as a definitively creatively definitively correct way to go about what you create. Okay, so here we have from that finally some progress where we have a little bit of chords here, which is the 5K Lee motif here. Assuming so like should I assume for the sake of the art, like just for the sake, like this is a 5K style theme, right? Should I just assume, even though
Yes,
Banana
yes.
Man
This is ostensibly this is a creative exercise to show the 5K approach to music. So the assumption is that this is a 5K theme. So whatever stylistic guidelines you go for 5K music should apply to this.
Okay.
As much as I would love you to go wacky Jurassic Park meets Pee-wee's Big Adventure Banana Time, the rules you should be following are the 5K guidelines.
Right.
Suspicious Toad says SCP secure contain potassium.
Oh yeah, I should be eating more bananas. Like I should be eating more bananas. Like I really should be.
I've definitely been trying to eat more fruit in my diet. The only thing I don't like about bananas is that like if they get like bruised, I don't know. I think like bruised bananas are just really gross. But that does bring up an interesting question. What would you say are the rules for composing music in 5K?
Innately, at least. So Venomous is also a composer for 5K. And he definitely does things a lot differently than me. But like for me personally, what I'm trying to go for when I say like, okay, I'm gonna make a 5K theme, right? There's a couple things, right? Number one, I really, really want there to be that background of horror element, because SCP as a franchise comes down to, in like, at least my opinion, that existential horror, that existential dread, that like what if these things existed? What if there was like some shadow organization like with just all these dudes like just contained here, and like, oh my god, like 106 is gonna get me or something like that. Like what if that existed? Like what if? And in terms of raw gameplay, sometimes you don't necessarily get all of your horror from the environment, because like, it depends on where you are, and that's what I want the set dressing of the music to be. I want it to pull you back down to like real, like to the ground level of what these people are feeling in the environment. Like, are they scared? Are they happy? Did they complete an objective? Like, I need it to I need it to really put you in the shoes of the player character.
So you
And
kind of want to ground people in the experience of what they're feeling.
that's more of a more elegant way of saying it. Yes, I want it to ground people in the experience. I don't want it necessarily to be something like super mega Hollywood. I want it to be something cinematic. I want it to be something cinematic, but I also don't want it to be so bombastic that it makes you feel like this is like um this is a movie, because this really, to me, this isn't a movie. Like, it shouldn't feel like it's a movie. It should feel like a dark reality. Like, you could be here. Like, this could be this this could be real. Like, you really have to think about it. I think a good track to put in perspective what I mean is Falling. If you've listened to that one, I took a lot of inspiration from just end times type of imagery, right? Like when I was composing Falling, it was all about the overall idea, the concept was, if you as a person were watching the world crumbling around you, everything you knew, everyone you loved, just going, and there was nothing you can do about it, that's the song for Falling. That's for Falling right there. Let me grab it real quick, actually. If there was a song for the world's ending and you're just standing there and there's nothing that you as a person can do to prevent any of this, that's Falling. Here's. And like right there, I think like what would you say? Do you think I captured what I was setting out to do?
Yeah, it's atmospheric, but it doesn't feel like movie music. So that's the sort of vibe where it feels like it evokes the setting, but it's more diegetic than the Jurassic Park theme, if that makes sense. Leon Sus Kennedy says, I'm falling, and I can't get up. And DCR asks, next live stream, can we rig the banana model? Oh, that's a good question. I'll have to...
that's a good question.
I'll see if I can make that happen as we slowly use these streams as an event to bring the banana into life. I'm taking advantage of all the generosity of the wonderful Afraid developers as they work off hours to try and put things that the community wants to life.
Okay, so now what I'm looking for... Oh yeah, I forgot I have this thing. This would have been useful a little bit ago. I forgot I had this. You know when you buy something new and like you're just like immediately forget that you bought it? That's me right now.
I know that feeling. You have that sensation of buying something new.
So now I'm working on having a little background thing. So right now, what I'm working on is I'm trying to dress the above theme to have a little bit more control, because that is a standard loop.
Nathan Tatek asks, which version of the update is it going to be? Just for the record, this song is not going to be in the update, although who knows? If you guys love it so much, maybe we'll put it out on Spotify. That is an option. I now have DistroKid access, so after we're done with the stream, one thing I'm going to probably work on is actually getting stuff on Spotify. So if you like this theme, there is a possibility we might make it available. That is doable. Suspicious Toad says, peeling back the SCP creation process, peel by peel. With the advent of the birth of Bananazilla.
Something you'll notice is I don't tend to work with exact scales too often. Usually I'll do that if I'm trying to make a very, very happy track, if I'm trying to make a happier track. If I'm trying to make something more cinematic, I don't tend to work with those because for the longest time, I'm self-taught. For the longest time, I had no idea what those were. I'm not gonna lie, and I just got really used to just ignoring that. So,
what for anyone out here who's looking to like compose music, become a SoundCloud genius, what are the best resources you use to like self-teach yourself about music?
Personally, honestly, like not that much. Honestly, I didn't really use that much because I'm not the type of learner who I'm not a visual learner. I'm not a reading learner. I'm more of like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna fail so many times. That's how I learn things, and that's how I learn music. Which is not very helpful for your question, but like really, there are a lot of resources around there. There are a lot of resources like music teachers, like books and that kind of stuff that the best teacher for sure, in my opinion, is definitely look at the songs that you like. If you're trying to get into music, look at the songs that you like and learn like think about it. Like what did they do? Why do you like that? And try and make something in that style, and then you'll learn what they did. You'll learn what they did, and you're like, oh, whoa, they did this thing, and then you just go from there. You just learn over and over and over again. That's what worked for me.
And if you do have any other questions for audience input, I can put another poll up. If you're looking to
please. If anyone in the audience has any suggestions, please let me know. Because like I want this to be as chaotic as possible. Like that's what I have fun doing. Just give me some random prompts if you want.
All right, people.
Like, I don't care. I will try.
In YouTube and Discord, give me like 3 or 4 prompts, and then I will make a poll, and then Coolz will try and implement them to the best of his ability. So let's throw in some chaos theory into this bad boy. All right, we got one suggestion from Flock of Cats. Make it sort of bouncy. That's one.
Make it sort of bouncy. Seeing it in another room eating an enemy, how would you do that? So I would probably do something fast there. I would probably do something like not necessarily like because like this track right now is like it's like very slow paced. It's slower paced. If I were to say do something where it's like eating somebody, like that's like something like a fast reaction, like personally add some stingers there, and I would do something like it actually depends on the context, right? do you open the door and it's right in front of you, or are you just like walking and you just happen to passingly notice it? DCR, is that like what you're thinking here?
Passing by, it's eating an anomaly. So I think it's eating another creature in Site 12.
Apologies for possibly ruining the eardrums right here. I just need to get the right.
So,
Here.
is there like a lot of memorization that you have in terms of like every single different sound effect and how it sounds?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Is there a lot of memorization on your part in terms of memorizing all these different instruments and sound effects?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like certain instruments, like I know like the back of my hand, and I can do something really quickly. And then there's a lot of other ones where I'm not necessarily as experienced because like something that I've found is just starting out, I didn't have that much money to be able to be throwing and spending into my hobby of music. And over time, I've been able to better justify spending that money on music. So I have a bunch more instruments here. Like, you do not want to know how much money all these things that I've purchased cost. You
Damn.
do not want to know. But that said, right? Because I was so limited at the start, I got really, really, really good at what I had. Like, really good. And I can take that and like right now, like what I'm using, this is like something that's free. This is T-Force Alpha Plus. This is free. Um, I use this constantly when I was starting out because it's free. It's just like free. And I got really familiar with how everything works with it. I got really familiar with how everything works. Now, one other thing I like to do with my sins is I like to do a funny and put on a guitar rig on there for some reason because uh, I just like how the way I like the way that this sounds. You just throw guitar rig on it and it just sounds good. What I want to do here, so what I want to do here, and I'm being very generous here, like with the volume. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to try and make this a lot louder than it is right now. I'm very generous with how low I am because I don't want to blow out anyone's eardrums here doing this. Because I know it's very easy for me to do that accidentally with this program. So I will apologize in advance if I accidentally mess something up like that. Why is it not going up? Yes, you can definitely see music is not a fast process. It's not a fast process. Sometimes you can go into it and you have everything exactly as you need it to really. And there's a lot of times where you need to experiment a lot more to figure out exactly what you want here.
In that regard, what would you say is like? Was there any particular thing you composed that felt like it just clicked really easily versus something that like took you a long time to figure out?
Um, really quickly, in terms of clicking really quickly, let me think here. The D, like some of the, like a lot of the faction themes, like they were pretty quick. Like D class was like D class is really fast, really easy for me because it incorporated a lot of elements that I personally have experimented with a lot. The UIU theme, um, it was a lot more difficult because it's more of like set out to be noir type style, like not necessarily like super noir, but like when I was given the assignment, I was like told we want to make it feel like this is the FBI investigating you, and I was trying really hard to capture that, and it's not really a style that I did too much, so I need a little bit of help figuring out exactly how to accomplish that. What I want to do with that. Okay, so I think I know what I want to do with this. So basically, right now I'm just like really trying to capture the basis of the theme because you don't necessarily like unless it's an ambient track. If you're trying to do something that's more action orientated or like not necessarily like a pure ambient track, you want to start with the backing layer because it sets the pace for everything else. It sets the pace for everything else. Um, which is why I haven't really added too many in the way of what's actually going to become forward-facing instruments. I think I'll remove the guitar for now. I'll remove the guitar just so I can figure out the melody.
ECR says to add to the idea, it would be cool if it also kind of showed off it mutating from eating some way in the music.
Hey, let me see. Turn off reverb here. Because I need to like listen to this here.
Ooh, I like the trombone.
Like when I start from anywhere that's like not the beginning, it kind of sounds a little derpy.
Hey, that's all part of the process.
interesting way that you can do that I found in Reaper to make your strings, like your staccato, really stand out a lot more at the beginning. It is to just triple stack at the beginning. So you can see I have 3 very fast notes here that are playing very rapidly that just like stack together to make this sound a lot more powerful than it really would otherwise. Let's listen to this here right now. All right, so I think I don't really like that. I don't really like those notes there. I'm trying to figure out like what I can swap them with.
If you have any suggestions of notes or instruments you'd like, please let us know in either the YouTube chat or the Discord. Coolz is definitely open for suggestions, although he is clearly jamming out, so definitely don't want to interrupt the process. But
thank you. What are your thoughts so far, like on this baseline? Like, I'm trying to really get it to where it's solid, and I can start moving on to other places here.
Maybe it should be a little bit heavier, possibly a little bit more
probably
ominous.
More ominous. Let me think here. How can I do that?
VCR is liking it.
So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and I'm going to actually switch out for something else. I think I'm going to do some. I think I'm going to do like I'm just trying to get some tremolo here. Tremolo here. What I want to do is I want to accentuate this until it feels like it's like as intense as it needs to be. Okay, that is way too fucking loud. I'm sorry. That is way too loud. I apologize. Way too loud. I'm sorry. I need something that's like, okay, so overall, I think this is decent for like a melody wise. Now, in terms of like what its tonality needs to be, I don't know. So I need to experiment here a lot and try and figure out how to get there.
Seal Pup says, "Hi, I love the game concept. Looking forward to seeing What was that? God, I hate this little heart icon. Looking forward to seeing more of the game. There is an update coming soon. I can't say how soon. But yeah, it is being worked on, and as soon as I get the all clear, we will roll it out and let you know.
So we're gonna go ahead and move this back a little bit. And just focus on this. So I'm going to finish this really quickly.
DCR has a name. I know you don't like to have names until the track is done, but he says peeled genome is a suggestion for the track.
Peeled Gmail. Yeah, that's an interesting name. It's not that I don't like having names when I start. Sometimes, if I'm feeling particularly inspired, I'll actually, for once, come up with a name while I'm making the thing. But usually, I don't try super hard until like I've got it done. It is a thing. But I think that's a really good name actually. You're way smarter than I am. You're way smarter than I am. Maybe I repeat that twice, honestly, because I really like the idea of like having this play twice. Hold on one second. Let me just try this really quickly. That. Okay, so we have And I'm going to copy paste this over here and just move over there. So I have a safety net in case I decide I don't like this. We're going to take that and we're going to move it over there and then over here.
DCR asks, when the next devlog? Soon, but I can't give you a date. I'm very much looking forward to it. I know it's being worked on. There's one other piece of media I can't wait to push out. Just waiting for audio for it, but I will not say what that is. But hopefully soon for the next devlog.
Okay, I'm starting to like this now. I just pitched it down by 2, and I do like this a lot more now. I do like this a lot more suddenly.
Moto says, one of my favorite soundtrack that really fits the vibe of 5K. Can you imagine if this just became really successful, just making 5K music to the point where it's like, just keep on producing music for the game, and that's what funds a fray. The game never gets finished just because there are continuously cool tracks being pumped out for it.
That'd be fun for me. That would be fun for me, but also I think it would be robbing you of a really fun experience playing the game.
True. Well, I don't know. Isn't that kind of like almost what happened to Toby Fox? He like I know everyone loves Undertale, but he did so well with Undertale that like he takes forever to make a new game, and he just does music for like Nintendo and all these other people who hire him out and commission him to do music.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I'm like, I was not paying attention. I was like focusing.
Oh, that's all right. I was just comparing like Toby Fox, who created Undertale, how he made Undertale, and Undertale was a tremendously successful game, but it feels like he does more music than game development, because that other game he made, Deltarune, is taking forever.
I mean, to be fair, right? Toby Fox, he's an insanely good composer, and he's an insanely good game developer. He puts a lot of time and a lot of effort into his musical tracks.
They are really good musical tracks.
He puts a lot of effort. So that's probably more so why than anything. In my opinion, just the amount of effort that goes into, like, I have attempted to create a couple of things, like, not necessarily like in the Toby Fox style, but like video gamey type of stuff, more video gamey type of stuff, like retro, because like I like to do that in my spare time. None of it's been released because frankly, I don't really have anywhere to put it, admittedly, because I don't really have a YouTube channel. I have a SoundCloud that I don't update like ever. I might make one day a YouTube channel or something where I post my personal stuff, but yeah.
And you just sort of saw the incredible amount of effort it takes to like even try and.
Well, wait, okay. Creating more proper video gamey music takes a lot. It takes a lot less effort in terms of what's the word. So it's a lot more effort on the notation, just the raw notation, and a lot less effort on the mastering. Now, you can master the crud out of it if you'd like. You can, but you gotta be a lot more crazy with your notation if you want to pull out like something like Toby Fox does, because like he's like really freaking smart. Like the more you listen to it, because like you don't freaking notice it when you're playing the video game, but like half the song, like I struggle a lot with panning instruments properly. Most of my tracks are all centered because like I'm a lazy boy and I don't take the time to like say, oh, I think this instrument sounds better if it's coming from the right ear. But really, like Toby Fox goes completely nuts with his freaking panning. Like he's like insane. Like I'm just gonna say, like the amount of time, the amount of effort that goes in that. Like I would love to know exactly how long it takes for him to make some of these tracks. But from what I've learned, it's a lot more on the notation side than anything. Why is this not playing? Is this on channel 2? No, it's not on channel 2. Oh wait, no, I'm just like slightly too low.
Redfish asks, if you make a YouTube channel for the personal stuff, would you name it Coolzer?
But who am I cooler than? Like what are you saying here? Like why?
That's a suggestion for a channel name. Since you're Coolz, would it be like cool? I guess it's kind of like following the Dragon Ball naming convention. I don't know if you're a big Dragon Ball fan or Dragon Ball Z fan, but you know, there was Frieza, and then in one of the movies, his evil brother, or eviler brother, because Frieza is evil, was Cooler. So you know, your base name could be Coolz, but then you know, the follow up to that, your YouTube name would be Coolers.
Okay, like kind of like a weird like anecdote about like referring to like this kind of content, right? The reason my handle is CoolzTM is because it used to just be Coolz, and then a certain individual who will not be named kept stealing like my freaking username and just putting it everywhere. And like they like, and like I had to trademark it, and then they finally stopped. Like I put the TM there, and I told them I freaking trademarked it, stop it, and they stopped it. So
Damn.
if I were to make it Coolzer, I would have to trademark that too.
Do you have like some sort of a vindictive rival who just is stealing all your stuff?
I do, unfortunately. I do. He is very vindictive. That's a joke, by the way.
So in the I don't know, I like this vision of like your internet arch rival, the Joker to your Batman, who's just like always stalking, looking to deprive you of your preferred internet screen name.
Listen, right? You notice like my avatar in Discord is Coach, right?
Yep.
Their avatar is Blue Nick. Left it to Nick.
So that's the sort of dynamic you got.
Yes. This is the cooler TM.
Who is the most Sub-Zero? Cooler Coolz Sub-Zero TM. And Fredfish suggests Coolzer Ball Z. You still there?
I am still here. I am still here. I'm just reading this one comment.
All right.
He who shall not be named.
I always get nervous.
Coolzer free trademark smiley face. We know who you are. Stop it.
No, don't tell me Suspicious Toad is this arch rival. Oh, does he have the Nick profile
no,
picture?
He doesn't look blue to me. Like, I don't know about you, but I just really like just going down an octave here. Or, well, not an octave, but like, this is like 2 notes. I really like just going down here suddenly. Like, it's like, I pitch it down by two. This is what it sounded like before. Ooh. And if like, that's normal, and then I pitch it down by 2. I like where that's going. Like I don't know. Like that. This feels like a lot more menacing suddenly. Okay, DCR is with the cooler Coolz TM for a second channel.
What's the lowest you can make the note go, or like how many octaves can you bring it down without breaking it?
It depends on the instrument, right? For a lot of synths, there is no limit, but for recorded instruments like this, so basically this those samples were recorded. Those were actually all of those samples were recorded. That's why this costs so much money. If you're wondering, and at some point, every instrument has a limit to what notation it can achieve with the notes. Like, so so as you see here, right? If I were to play the cello here, so this is a cello, and you can hear that it goes from here, here, and then down here, it just stops. It just doesn't make any more noise. But if I switch this to the bass, to channel 2, this is the bass now, the bass, it goes a little bit lower. But it also just stops. So it really depends on the instrument. It depends on the instrument, depends on the library.
So every instrument has a sort of cap that it can reach.
Yes. Since, like I said, synthesizers are, they're generated things, so they can go as low as you need. However, you probably should not take a lot of them and just go super low. Like here's like this thing. I can do like that sounds adorable, but like I can go all the way down here. Should I be here? No. Should not be here. Like, but I could. Yeah, I could. I could do it. Let's just throw a black hole in here for some reason. Hold on one moment. Let me just... 1 second. I need to answer a DM.
What inspiration do you have?
Right now?
Yeah. You said you had an interesting idea.
There's not... Okay, so this is kind of complicated to say, right? I don't have like an image idea. I can kind of hear where I want it to go. And again, I didn't study music or anything, so like I like somebody who probably studied music more can like absolutely definitively name which notes like we're going to, but like for me, I gotta kind of ear it a little bit more to figure out like where exactly the note actually is that I'm hearing. So I'm like right now, and I apologize. It's like mm, like that kind of thing.
So
like, that's why I'm like personally thinking right now.
So from the void, you have inspiration. You've got a note that you're trying to do it, and you're trying to manifest it into reality.
Essentially, yes.
We have something from Suspicious Toads who says, if the theme is becoming more menacing, perhaps have it become more dread and horror overtone. The revelation of the capacity, potential / danger of the creature. And Suspicious Toad also says, he has very detailed thoughts. He says, what was somewhat silly but serious creature at first glance becomes more horrors. The situation peels back more and more, revealing a more formidable but dangerous foe. Sure, it's just a sentient banana Zilla, but bananas themselves contain a lot of carbohydrates. And a sentient but dangerous banana would have enough carbohydrates to be an unrelenting hunter. How would the viewer react against the potential danger of this unrelenting beast who hasn't noticed the viewer yet?
I mean, like, but here's the thing. Have you ever seen art of like Banana Zilla, right? Like, cause like, I mean, it depends on how like okay, so if we take it literally, right? Does it look like a banana peel? But like, cause like I swear, like if we take like some of these art, cause some of them make it look absolutely terrifying.
I think that
Like,
is.
yes, you can very easily make it look goofy as heck, but like, are we talking like are we talking like the goofy style, or are we talking like, oh my god, what is that?
I think the one of the things that seems to people really resonate with people is the fact that Afray is recaptured Bananazilla and bringing it back to its horrifying roots to try and take something that seems kind of memey and dumb and kind of selling the horror behind it.
Oh, this okay. This is unfortunate. This note does not go down as low as I need it to. Okay, let's see. What can I do here? I have the quintet streams I can do. Okay, not even that goes as low as I need to. Okay, maybe. We go back to the we go back to here and we grab the base again. Like I need to go like one note lower. I need to go one note lower, but like it just like the instrument just can't do it.
Ooh, the bass was kind of cool.
I'm okay. So here we're faced with a difficult situation because like I need this to go a couple. I need this to go one note lower, but it stops right there. I need to go one note lower than this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt some funny little business here. I'm going to grab this note, and I'm going to just render this out solo. We're gonna say so. I am just going to export this one note. And then I'm going to also try this. And here we have. All right, so I should have a very cheesy noise here now. Okay, I'm actually going to do the same thing with this note too, because frankly, the next one down doesn't sound too great either, even though it does actually play that note. So we're going to go ahead and say screw that, and take this. Okay, you know what? I forgot that might be an issue. Okay, now this kind of works, even though the instrument doesn't quite want to cooperate.
Ooh.
All right, all that effort just to go down one more note. By the way, all that effort just to make it go one more down.
I see what you mean, because for some reason, I guess, I wasted too much time experimenting with that stupid Suno AI, so it gives me the impression like, oh yeah, you can just put a few prompts in there, get the instruments going, and then it's easy, lickety split, you'll get music. But watching you here definitely gives a greater appreciation for the sort of craft and finding a good rhythm.
You gotta work around. You gotta work around limitations sometimes, which is where also being a sound designer comes in handy because I know what to do.
I know Pfeiffer is like the overall audio. Is Pfeiffer composed anything, or is he just mainly kind of like a sound effects guy?
He actually does play guitar. He does play guitar, and he said a couple of times that he wants to do a guitar cover. So maybe eventually we'll get a Pfeiffer guitar cover or something. I
Oh,
won't say
that'd be
too much on
amazing.
that end.
Oh, if I could get him on
I
face
won't say too
camera.
much on that end, but like maybe.
Well, we did have someone play SCP 5K with a what was that? An accordion. Maybe sometime we can get someone. Yeah, it was one of our previous.
I never saw that. Like, wait, can somebody link me that? I never saw that.
I will get it for you. We still have it up there. It was amazing. I loved it. It was my greatest crowning achievement. But then the next thing we need is someone to play 5K with a guitar.
I really like I'd really like to hear a lot more remixes of the 5K stuff because like as a composer, right? Like it's cool. Like it's like I listened to a lot of remixes like back when in 2010. That's like when I was actually listening to music, right? A lot of what inspired me musically back then when I was like 10 years old, or well, not really inspired, but like a lot of the stuff that I listened to back then was just like remix covers of other things. And as I became a composer myself, I stopped listening to him as much. But all I listened to back then was just like remixes and stuff. So it's like really, I'd like to hear remixes. I'd like to hear remixes of my own stuff. I would.
Well, I linked you the accordion stream. I don't know if you're in the groove, so don't watch it now. Although it's something that makes me wonder if like you'd get inspiration. It is really funny though because he has it like turned on. So there's like a lot of like you ever see that Family Guy skit where it's like Peter or Stewie or stalks fat people with a trombone. It is kind of like that energy, only it's like the accordion and you're walking around and shooting guys. So it's
That'd be pretty funny. Like, honestly, just like imagining just some guy just walking around with you, like you're just playing SCP-5K, you're having a good time. Some random dude just joins the server and like they're just following you. They're not really shooting anything. They're just following you and like they're just playing an accordion, like to the situation.
That would be really funny.
They're just don't mind them. Don't mind who's that guy? Oh, that's John. Like don't mind him. He's just the composer. He's just the audio guy. So I'm suddenly liking a lot more where this is going, but also I feel like this is gonna take a lot more work to get really where I want to go with it. Because you also want to say, hey, like this needs some drums. This needs some drums. Yes, I agree. This does need drums, but also drums take a lot of time to really figure out exactly where you want to put them, like how you want to do them. So you need to do a lot of mastering with drums. So usually those are like one of the like either that's the first thing I do or that's like one of the later things that I do because like I want to be. I like doing little flares. I like doing little flares with my themes.
Are drums really that difficult?
No, they're not difficult, but like you have to match the BPM. Like you have to match no, not like you have to match where the track is going. And I like to be like I said, I like to give it more flair, like right with the drums. Than probably a lot of people. Like it's like Cause like what a lot of people will do is they'll just set one stem and they'll just go with that stem for like the entire track. I'd like to try to be more because like there's still innately going to be a lot of that, but I like there to be little one-off, like little flair pieces where I can. Also notably, I would really want to add frickin' what's it called? I'm forgetting the name. I'm probably not gonna pronounce this right. Like timpani drums, or like where the frick that is.
I don't even know what a timpani drum is.
It's like okay, so it's a kettle drum. It's like a kettle drum. I want kettle drums in here, but I also know for a fact that I have not reinstalled my freaking kettle drum libraries.
ECR asks. I sense that 2761 is an aquatic for the beginning of its life and amphibious for the rest of its existence. Could that get somehow shown in the music? So I don't. That's interesting. I don't know how you'd reflect that if you would like, you know, how you'd have an aquatic theme and then switch it to something else.
So like that can be done. That can be done. Yes, that can be done. So I screwed up a little bit here. I think I accidentally added the wrong layer, and I don't want to delete that. So I'm gonna put this back real quick. But I did find some what I was thinking of. So we'll put that back. Okay, I'm legitimately. Oh wait, no, I did ensemble. I did ensemble. Right. I did ensemble. Wait, maybe I'm not. Like, okay, what instrument did I put here again? I'm literally, like, I am forgetting right now. What did I do? I accidentally removed it. Yeah. Oh wait, was it Adagio? Okay, you know what? There's a really simple solution here. Me not remembering what I was doing. Yeah, Yeah, this right here is what we call a skill issue.
Where you see the depth of your ability to manipulate. Interesting. What do you mean by skill issue?
Immediately forgetting what I was doing. Put the Tim, like, I'm pretty freaking sure, like, I'm like mispronouncing it, but like, I mean this instrument here, this little freaking drum here. Like, that is what I'm referring to.
Hmm. Ooh.
Like, you hear this a lot in particularly like Asian, like Japanese things. Like, you hear it a lot.
Yeah. I was hearing it, and it was like I was immediately struck with like Evangelion vibes.
The only issue with them is like there's so much bass to them that like it kind of like gets lost in translation a lot of the time. I do not want to add the reverb to this particular track because there's already a lot of reverb to it. It. Now I think about maybe Foghorn. I don't know. I think this needs more experimentation. So I'm just gonna move it aside for now. Because like I said, drums, like I don't know. I want them to be more naturally flowing, and usually that takes more time for me personally. Sure, I'm like sure like some people can just like go in there and it's like bam, bam. Not me.
Hmm. DCR was saying it kind of sounds like a foghorn.
Yeah, I agree. Kinda. Hmm. Like toward like where we're getting right now, basically the point where like I'm kind of running out of ideas for this particular melody, and like I would basically stop at this point and like keep listening to it over and over again, like, and then come back to it, and then just really figure out like where else I want to go. Because like I know melody wise, I want to go do 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 like that kind of thing, but like I want to start introducing other parts to this theme that I just don't really. I don't know. I'm just kind of losing my creative steam here a little bit,
All
admittedly.
right. Anyone, do you have crazy things that you want to add to this? Any instruments? Any things you'd like to add? What would you like to hear? Bobcat Powers typing in the chat. I don't know. I think he just arrived here. What would you like to see?
Oh,
He wants anime. I don't. So maybe that means more drums.
or drums. I mean, anime. Um, see, like like what would freaking anime be? Yeah. Should have it lying around here. Where is it? Did it go?
Ooh, DCR has a suggestion. Maybe a heartbeat in the background.
Hmm.
Would it be possible to sync up like the bass with like a heartbeat? Like just a suggestion. Have you ever seen the trailer for Alien Romulus?
No, I have not.
So
I've said that about a lot of things, actually.
There's a really I had a lot of mixed feelings about the movie, but the trailer does something really cool where you hear like a cracking noise that like pulses with the beat of it, and then you eventually see a character who like puts like a light to their chest, and they see the aliens like cracking against their ribs, and then you realize that the cracking sound effect is actually like the alien, parasite larval stage cracking against the rib cage, and that was just a really great editing touch. Bobcat Power, no plans for the My Little Pony movie night yet, but there is a movie night that I have confirmed that I'll be scheduling soon, so look forward to that. It's a very exciting one, something I've been working to put together for a long time. I just finished recording the movies, and I have a very special guest who curated the selection of movies.
What if I just like keep going lower here? Also,
Give it a shot.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know.
Would it be possible, this is kind of a dumb idea, to add like a squishy sound effect to kind of get that banana-y, or is that just a bad idea?
Okay, squishy sound effect, maybe, but like the thing is, right? A lot of like that would require like add FX, right? And that's not necessarily something that you want to be adding until like you've got a much more developed track than this. Admittedly,
Hmm.
this would need to be a lot more developed. And like I said, like I'm starting to lose a little bit of steam here on this, particularly because like I'm like really struggling. I'm like like I said, this right now I would be like something that I come back to a bit later and like really like revisit it again.
So actually, that brings up another interesting issue. Let's say you're having difficulty with a track, and it's like you have to get it by tomorrow. Do you just take like micro breaks where you like take away for half an hour? How do you deal with that when you've got like a really pressing deadline?
Admittedly, that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened. That has not happened. Yeah. Before.
Oh, we do have another idea from Suspicious Toad. Not sure if it would work, but if an addition is needed, can it be fitted in perhaps one of the more dramatic church organs as an instrument? That type of organ somehow like Ganondorf would have? That is a wild suggestion.
The only ones that I have off the top of my head are
another suggestion from DCR is for the mutation aspect, like any bodily noise would work for. Do you have bodily noises in your soundscape?
See, I can do that real easy. I can do that really easily.
Really?
But like again, like that's something that you want to mix in when you're doing your mastering. Because like if I were to just add that right now, that'd be all swell and cool. But like if I want to keep building off this track, it would become more difficult to get it to feel right, if that makes sense. Because
Is there any
then
particular
we're relying on a what?
is there any particular reason why it would be difficult to get it to feel right? What? That's
Oh, okay,
interesting. That's a
so let's say so if I were to add that, right, that would be fine as a flare. Like you need like at least for me, I would want it to be more. So if I add that straight away, right, it's like easier for me to get more carried away with it. I'll put it like more like that. So like if I put it like right here and like I'm like, okay, yeah, like I can throw it right here right now. I could probably do that. But the earlier you do these things, right, like basically a detail like that, I would want to be more subtle. I would want it to be more subtle. Potentially, I would want it to be, or like potentially more like of a one-off, like maybe like background thing that happens. And knowing myself, I would just go completely nuts crazy, like keep experimenting with it if I did it right now, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because like I am like I do not hold myself back at all. I'm sorry if that doesn't really make that much sense. I'm sorry.
No, everyone has their own creative processes.
Like you want to have your track, like at least me, I want to have the track be at least 70% done before I start like going and adding these things, ideally, because then I have a really good idea what I can and can't do as well. Like throw in the background here, because I can throw 610 stuff here, like if I find it. Wait, where's 610? Or sorry, not 610. Like what's that freaking plant thing? Darn it. Like what's like
Oh, 1261.
1262, yeah, that one.
Yeah, 1262.
Or is it 612?
1 second.
Like the little midget guy. I have the midget plant guy. Is that six? Like what is it? I'm literally like forgetting.
Are you thinking about 319? Well, yeah, it's 1261. The vines,
Okay, no,
right?
it's 61. Okay, no, I'm thinking of 61. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So we've got 621 here. Yeah, so I did a bunch of like funny breathing things for that. I'm like literally getting confused here.
Too many SCPs.
There's like so many SCPs.
Is this the file?
Well, no. So when I'm opening up like additional samples for like things, I'd like to put them in a separate project just because like it's all clean and stuff.
Ah, all right. I was
So
afraid
like,
you like
I just
lost
throw
your
this.
progress.
No, this is just a different thingy here. So like right here, I could just like technically, yeah, I could just throw this here. So personally, I would pan this to the left here, and then I would go right.
Ah, interesting.
It starts right after there, and then I wanna. Okay. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure like exactly how much this makes it sound like what you wanted, but this kind of demonstration, because like basically. It's like really subtle. It's like really subtle. And I would want to put this in a more climactic part of the song, if I can, rather than like putting it everywhere. Right, but like does this get across what you were thinking it would?
What do you
like,
think?
DCR.
Populous DCR. Is this what you? Is this kind of what you were thinking of, or do you have other visions? What is the consensus? Are we getting banana vibes? Is this a good tone setter? What do you think of this evolving music track? DCR is humming, and that goes for you too. Anyone in the YouTube audience. Suspicious Toad, if you're still around, or Fred Fish. Bobcat Power says, the song sounds good, but does not sound like it fits. That is the question. Is it banana enough? So here's an interesting question. Musically, what influences would you say the Minions use?
The what?
The Minions, like, the Despicable Me Minions. Banana.
I've literally not watched a single one of them.
Well, maybe you're better off. You're uncorrupted. But I was just thinking if there was any inspiration from like Minions music, if they have an iconic theme song.
I don't know. I have several funny stories about the Despicable Me. Not necessarily like I didn't watch it, right, but like of people talking about Despicable Me. So I would be very biased when I would say that.
Sorry, I'm just like for my own amusement playing the Minion March. All right, that doesn't sound very banana-y.
So overall, right?
Okay, I have a wild suggestion. Would it be possible to like maybe what this is missing and why it doesn't feel banana-y enough is it needs a Caribbean flair. Maybe there needs to be like some Deo. I don't know what instruments are associated with Caribbean music, but it is just a suggestion.
For some reason, I immediately think rain drum.
Do you have rain drum?
No.
Oh.
Actually, maybe I don't like. This is like okay. Did I freaking buy a rain drum? Or, like, did I forget? Like, because I know that's something I wanted to get because like rain drum is just badass as heck. Rain drum is just really badass, but I don't remember. I have steel drums somewhere.
Ooh, steel drum would be interesting.
Shields run would be interesting, but I also highly suspect that the samples are just gone because the hard drive has been moved around a lot.
Oh, man. Always the
So
instrument
we'll
that
see.
you
We'll
just
see if
don't quite have. Bobcat Power is also another interesting suggestion if you don't have steel drums. He says, it needs Spanish guitar to sound more banana.
You know, Spanish guitar I can do. I'm just messing around at this point.
And then the Dutch Next says, make the chase theme, it's peanut butter jelly time. Lol, just kidding. That was one suggestion, the classic peanut butter jelly time. But Spanish guitar, I think, could be interesting.
Yeah, Spanish guitar could be interesting. I have that in Omnisphere. Like overall, right? Step one is to set the right tone and then figure out where we go from there. Okay, hold on. I need to undock this because I cannot read what is going on in Omnisphere. Okay. I cannot read what's going on. So we have this flamenco.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna actually push this up again. Temporarily speaking.
And we also have another suggestion from DCR. Also, another name suggestion: Potassic mutation. Although I know you don't like to have names before track is finished.
Okay, so we're really getting to the point where it's just like getting faster and faster. So maybe I slow. Like, I don't know. Do you like this pace? Do you like this BPM? Because I've upped it to 160. It was 140 before.
I feel like the guitar isn't quite meshing. The guitar feels very Last of Us, and it feels like a slower pace than the more rhythmic drum beats.
Well, no. The drum I haven't quite like. I'm just playing it live. I'm just playing it live, and I'm just like kind of experimenting with like notes. So I'm not playing it as fast as I probably would. One thing I remember now about Omnisphere is it doesn't really do velocity that well. Why is this one so quiet and that one's not?
That is a good question.
Even at one velocity, it's way louder. What?
DCR saying, it sounds pretty banana. I'm kind of imagining the song playing in a bit of a flooded zone, which would realistically be where 2761 would shine. So that is... And Suspicious Toad says, while bananas are a dramatic fruit, perhaps some tropical instruments could help it make it sound more banana. Bring it back to its tropical roots. Both literal and metaphorical.
Like basically, as you can see, it does not take 2 hours to really fully build out a fleshed out song. Like, right? The main struggle this entire time has basically been figuring out the bass, like, right, the bass layer. I haven't even gone super deep into what's really gonna make the song tick. What's like the all the like this is like in a nutshell, the only thing here that's aiming at this time to not be the bass layer is really the guitar.
Well, here are some whatchamacallit, some other suggestions for tropical music. Maracas, acoustic guitar, steel
Oh,
guitar,
maracas.
marimba,
I could
vibraphone.
I have vibraphones, but like basically, at this stage, right? I'm just trying to find the right melody with the right instruments. Which I hope is still entertaining because like as you can see, there's not a whole lot going on right now.
Well, that is part of the process. Although I do want to check in. How are you feeling? We have been going for 2 hours. You still feeling good experimenting, or obviously I don't want to take up too much of your time. And thank you so much for offering up your time this Saturday to do this little demonstration.
Admittedly, I don't want to do too long a stream, although this could be something that like I work on like in the background like at some point, like because like I do want to finish this because this is definitely an interesting theme to me. But I will keep going for at least a little bit.
Okay. So we'll go on for maybe like another 20 minutes, half an hour, and see how you're feeling.
Probably.
Do you like this, whatever what you're playing with now?
Oh, that's literally the exact pandemic theme. The 5K theme.
And all right. Bobcat Power also says there is a song called Banana Republics. I think captures the banana theme.
Banana with Republics.
I don't know who made that song though.
Like if we did do a part two, I will say if we did do a part two, I would probably at least have the space like figured out a lot more than it is right now. Just for the simple fact of like I feel like this is kind of like boring to watch. Just me like just experimenting with like 5 different instruments and not really getting anywhere for the last probably like feels like 40 minutes. How long have we been here for?
We have been here since 3 o'clock. So at least well, I feel like you made some progress. But yeah, for 40 minutes you were kind
I've
of
made
like
a lot of progress, but like
Selene says, I love the game. I wanted to say the weapon animation is legendary. Selene, thank you so much. We're so glad you enjoy the game, and thank you for joining us this stream. Update 0.15 is being worked on and cooked upon, and I cannot wait to let you know when it is out and you can expect it. But so glad to hear you enjoying the game so far.
Maybe turn off FX and try and do something with guitar rig. Because I do like it just doesn't. I need to make it fit the right tone.
Oh, I'm going to thank you so much for saying that it's not boring, DCR. Good question. What is the next stream? Right now, I'm tentatively working with trying to line something up with Venny. What I really want to do is a SCP green screen stream where he makes like green screen meme edits. But I have to. He hasn't confirmed a time with me yet, so that's still to be determined. Oh, you want Anders back? That is a good question. I'll have to reach out to Anders and see if he's available or if there's any other projects he can do. We haven't had Anders in a while, so maybe it's time to. I always like to try and spread it out so it's not like I'm relying on one person, but it has been months since I've had Anders.
Like this is probably more something along the lines of like what I might do, but like I don't really like the notes progression here. I'm just like really just experimenting. No, I think I want to move on from now, like for now at least, like from this, because like I'm definitely. I definitely feel like creatively speaking, I've run out of like ideas right here, right now, because I definitely know roughly where I want the baseline to go, but like I need to figure out what's gonna go on top here, and that's what I'm really like trying to figure out.
And that's kind of like what you're.
I feel like I'm just gonna be here for like another like 45, 50 minutes before I break through.
So you want to call it, or is there anything else you'd like to show these wonderful people?
Yeah, at least for right now, but I can show off a couple other things, right? Like if you want, like a couple.
Yeah, of course. We're here. You know, we've got some people who are hanging out on this Saturday. So if you got stuff to show them, I'm not going to stop you.
Because I know, like some people were like, like the whole reason we're here is like basically like, oh, look at how music is made and stuff like that. And I can go over like a couple other things maybe for my personal tracks if people would people like that.
Yeah.
For me to go over some of my personal tracks that aren't necessarily done yet.
Selene,
part 2 maybe I'll.
I'm so excited.
Like,
that, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Lobster. How would you feel about doing a part 2 at some point? I guess.
Absolutely. If you're up for it, then we can definitely pick it up and have a time when you're creatively fresh and ready to. We can definitely pick up a part 2. I think let's shoot for that, and we'll bring you back in a few weeks. Banana Stream, the revenge. But Selene was just saying, can't wait for the update. The game music is awesome too. Strange, just like we need. I'm glad to hear that you have those kind thoughts. And I will work hard on getting that music on Spotify and YouTube so you can enjoy it. All right, so we are wrapping things up. Thank you so much for your time, Coolz. Showy, what do you have to show us?
Do we like? I do want to ask. Do people want to see some personal stuff that I work on, or no?
Yes. Show us personal stuff.
No? Okay, thank you.
Don't take Bobcat power for free. I want to see your personal things.
Well, this will take like 5 minutes to load because like it is extremely complicated. So.
Selene asks, are you working on a military bot? They got something like aimbot. Are you creating a system like GTA? I don't think there's an aimbot. There might be accessibility features in the future where they might include an aimbot, but I think right now there isn't, especially since it's a PC game. If SCP-5K eventually comes to consoles, there might be something like that, because I know most console shooters have like little tiny aimbots. But as of right now, I don't think it's on the top of the priority list. But the next time we have Trey, Albarni, or Bowman, you can ask one of them. Ooh, is this the next project? You still there, Coolz? I always get nervous when you don't respond. That like,
hello. Is it not like working? Is it not working when I tapped into that?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, yeah. So it was just bugged. Okay. So it's loading. It is loading the project. Like, one of the instruments is like extremely expensive on the RAM, so it takes a while to load.
Oh, that's
which is
lame.
why I haven't been playing it yet. But don't worry, it'll load after. It'll load soonish. Hopefully, it'll load. Usually when I work with this instrument, it's a really good instrument. I use it kind of like a wannabe like sound font player necessarily. Like, what I'll do is I'll record a piano or something like that, and I'll use it to play it back. But it has a bunch of added effects on it and stuff. It's really cool, but it takes a lot of memory to run. So.
What is the instrument? And is this a personal project or for some other video game that you're? What are we loading up right now?
This is a personal project.
Ooh. So just something you're making for fun? Is it just like a cool song?
Fun. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so when it loads up. I would say when it loads up eventually soon, TM.
Who knew that like it would take so long to like load up music?
Oh, the reason it's taking so long is like quite literally, if you look at the very top layer there that says contact, that's the one instrument. That's why, that one specific one right there.
Dang.
We survived. We survived. Okay, so
right,
I will quickly show you.
Let's hear it.
It is this instrument. This instrument right here took billions of years to load. And now it's actually frozen again because I probably pressed the button.
No.
Hold on. Okay. This one. Okay, I try to show instrument, and now instrument's like, no, don't reveal me.
It's like, you think it takes? What do you think it takes to run the Unreal? I'll show you what a real computer drain is.
Nah, but for real, it's a pretty good instrument. It just takes a lot of memory. In fact, I've already forgotten everything about my life.
So I guess as we wait for this to load, we don't want too much dead air. Have you played any great games recently? Any video games you especially loved that you played recently, Coolz?
I've been recently replaying all the Dead Space games in preparation of replaying the remake. Playing the remake.
Ooh, that must be fun.
I thought I bought the remake, but apparently I didn't because I'm a doo-doo head and I forgot.
Well, the best part about not getting video games is that like the prices go down so dramatically. So what was once $70, I'm sure you could probably get for like $30 or $40 now. So if anything, that's in your benefit. But that sounds like a fun playthrough. Personally, I'm trying to make my way through Baldur's Gate 3 3, but the game is so intimidating. There are like so many things you can do. I'm like, part of me is like, ooh, I should just stumble around and find fun. But then there's another part of me that's like angry. It's like, I'm missing out content. How do I talk to the animals? Why is my health so low? Am I doing this right? I'm playing the game wrong. I'm having a conniption fit.
So it survived. We have survived, as you can see. There's not a lot going on here, but there is in fact a lot. So here we go. I'll just play it from the beginning here.
Ooh. Ooh, this is really cool. We do have a question from Suspicious Toad. Has there ever been a moment where you have to make a custom instrument and import it into the DAW for composition?
A lot, actually.
Oh, really? So you have had made? Is that hard to do? Make custom instruments?
Like right about there, like I don't really. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with that melody, but basically, this is like the more finish ending of it. This is the finish ending. Somehow from there we get to here. So yeah. Yeah.
Really, really good arrangement. Bobcat Power says it almost sounds like a Blade Runner song.
I've actually heard that a lot.
So before we wrap things up, are there any other burning questions? We will pick up the banana stream sometime in the future, and we will come back and tackle this behemoth as Coolz works to try and create the banana song you all deserve. So I guess my question is, does anyone have any other music-related questions before we end this event and let Coolz enjoy his weekend? Coolz, they ask, Bobcat asks, do you have a Spotify, Coolz?
Not right now, because like the nature of all the soundtracks that I make, a lot of them are video game stuff, right? Like for 5K. And I don't feel right if I just make a Spotify page and I just throw all 5K stuff on it. So I'm kind of waiting to have like a good library of my own personal stuff to throw on it, and I'm very slowly but surely getting there. But yeah.
So, well, you'll be on the Affray Spotify. Right, I'll be sure to make sure that you are properly credited on all the tracks you do. That is a big thing that I intend to start now that I have the actual tools to put it together. Will we be seeing Kyle concept art part 2? I would absolutely love to get Kyle to do it. I think that was a really fun stream when he drew SCP monsters. So I would love to do that again. It's just a question of scheduling. So nothing announced yet, but I will see if I could get Kyle back here again. And with that, we have a few more questions from YouTube. Spectrum as says, release the banana folder. And Suspicious Toad, what has been the max amount of instruments you have ever inserted into an OST? Are you able to give a number in terms of instrument amount? So that's interesting. Have you ever had a composition what's the most amount of instruments you've ever had in a composition?
That would be Countdown. Although you certainly would be very pressed to hear all of the instruments. By far, Countdown is the most complicated thing I've ever made. I think there's like let me think. I think there's almost 90 layers, and that's like if we're counting just instruments, almost 90 layers. If you're counting all the FX chains, that's easily 120, easily.
Dang. Who knew you had so many? And this one, you're only playing with 3 or 4. I can only imagine what the Countdown composition looks like.
Actually, the Countdown composition looks a lot cleaner because there's just so many layers that I had to start rendering them out into stems. Otherwise, it would crash. I had to just start rendering out.
So there you have it, 90 things with Countdown. All right, so I think this is a good time to wrap things up. We've been going for 2.5 hours, a very nice stream. I will let you know if the Veni stream comes to fruition. Stay tuned for our next movie night. It's going to be an epic one. 3 movies hosted by someone very cool, someone who works in Hollywood and is responsible for a lot of big monster movies. I cannot wait to announce it. That will be soon. I've got all the materials I need. I just need to edit it together and put up a promo image. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to shoot to maybe try and do that next week. So I'm very excited. Yeah,
I hope all of you have a very good day/night wherever you may be in the world.
I hope you are all having a great time wherever you may be. Thanks for showing up. And as always, stay tuned to our Twitter, our Discord, our YouTube community tab. Oh, X-Reaper, you're back. I will give you too long didn't read, but you can always watch the replay. After putting a heroic effort, Coolz is decided to take a creative break, and eventually we might do a part 2 stream where Coolz will attempt to tackle this tricky proposition of coming up with a theme that is worthy of Banana Zilla. So stay tuned for that eventually. But for now, we are ending the stream. It is time to rest and relax, and everyone to have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, I hope my stream was entertaining, and it taught you a lot about what goes into making a song, honestly, because there's just a lot. There's just a lot
more work than you'd think. And stay tuned to the socials. Once we are live on Spotify, I will let you know, so you can play the music a billion times and give us 5 cents. So with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you again for coming. And now it is time to end the stream. And thank you all for coming.